Shalom, Royal Family. The class you are about to hear is taught by the Honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh many years ago. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Visit us at www.yahweh144000.com. Also, Royal Family, you can enroll in classes designed for the Godhead at www.universityofyahweh.org. Enjoy.
I would like to testify to you that Yahweh is God, and besides Yahweh, there is no God. Yahweh, the God of all gods. Hallelujah, Yahweh. Yahweh has raised me up from among my people to set all that are bound free. The Holy Word of Yahweh teaches us that when the Son of Yahweh sets you free, you are free indeed. I have come with a message that is the world's best kept secret. And it has been kept a secret by those who know how to keep a secret. All of my sons had to keep the secret under an oath. They're duty bound under an oath to keep this secret until there's one born from among the profane and the uninitiated that would come bearing knowledge of the secret that could only come from the Most High Yahweh himself. All of my sons all over the planet Earth in all governments work together to keep the secret from a certain group of people called today blacks. Yesterday they were called Negroes. Before that, colored. Afro-American. Lost from the knowledge of their history, culture, language, name, and land. Didn't have knowledge of the secret. And those that were searching and seeking and did find the knowledge, by the time they found out anything, they were duty bound not to tell anybody. Not even their wives, their sons, their daughters. And Yahweh decreed it so, which would prove when one would come with the end sign. This would let the world know that the sun is back. Now, those who are walking in darkness don't know that. They have heard by now. In the last 7 years of my work, they have heard. But they don't know. They're still walking in darkness. But there's a light shining in the west today. There's a light shining in the north corner, the north seat today. And that north represents America, North America. That's why it's called North America. Darkness in that seat, but that seat represents justice. There can be no justice for people sitting in the dark until the one with the light comes. Hallelujah, Yahweh. What's missing? The law. Whose law? Yahweh's law. We have been taught that the law of God doesn't count anymore. Imagine the world being taught that the law of the Creator doesn't count anymore. When you look at the reality that the law of God doesn't count anymore, you can understand why the world is in the condition that it's in. You can understand why we as a people are so totally destroyed. Murder, AIDS, going against nature. Yahweh's bringing destruction upon them for it. When you don't have God's law, then whose law do you have? Man's law. And what's the result of man's law? Death, destruction, chaos, confusion, injustice, bribing of judges. If you have a lot of money, you get a different kind of treatment. If you have none, you will go to jail, get a life sentence, and even death, and be innocent. In the public schools, the knowledge of God is out. Not even prayer to remind you. Not even a prayer to remind children that there is a God. I'm not talking about his name right now, just the fact of God. They don't want God in the school. And yet this country was founded on schools whose only textbook was the Bible. You think about that for a moment. It was such a serious concern that it was considered by the framers and organizers of America for Hebrew to be the official language. Oh, I have proof of all of that. I have documents to prove that. This was a legislative consideration for Hebrew to be the official language of America rather than English. And they considered the fact of who the Hebrews are and the fact that they had the Hebrews in slavery and said, that'll be too much connection. They'll wake up and rise up before it's time for the Savior to come from among them to deliver them. So we must cut off all light and knowledge of their history completely, so we can't allow the language to stand. So they voted against it. Some so-called wise senators stood up and said we must extinguish all possibility of light reaching the slave. And they did it. You can also find that in your studies of the Constitution, you who want to be students and scholars. The law of man has been substituted for the law of God, whose name is Yahweh, and the result is death, destruction, disease, suffering, poverty, hunger, death from malnutrition, starvation, poison of the air, the water, and the land. And men full of hate, one for the other, even from the same family of people, even believing in the same religion, they're fighting and killing each other. Proof? Ireland. They're both, all of them on the island is Christian. One half is Protestant, another group is Catholic. And they're killing each other every single day. Further proof? Iran, Iraq. They both believe in the same religion, the same God. And they are killing each other for the last 7 years. All at the urgings of some other people who are supplying both sides weapons to kill each other. America and Russia are supplying both sides. And they call them the superpowers, the double powers. Your choice is America or Russia, and you got the same fella when you make either choice. Both, one is Russian, and he tells you outright he wants nothing to do with God. He tells you overtly he's anti-God. They call themselves what? Atheists. Period. Then America pretends to be wicked. They profess religion, they profess God, but they don't live it. They deny the power. This country professes a belief in God, but they deny the power. Titus 1:16. Everything that I teach, I prove it. I'm not a man that talks from the top of his head. I prove my teachings. Titus 1 and what? 16. America and all who profess to believe in most of the religions, they profess a belief with words, toward God, but they deny the power. Read.
They profess that they know God Yahweh, but in works they deny him, being abominable and disobedient, and unto every good work reprobate.
They are evil and without good sense. They profess to know God, but their own book says, which they don't talk from the book they hold so dear, they don't live. They only believe. Only believe. When it comes time to do the work, no, 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 no. You heard the what? Abominable means evil. They're disobedient to the will of God, Yahweh. So that tells us what kind of people we have been following. An abominable, evil people, a people without good sense, a people who are disobedient to the divine will and laws of God. So they force you to go to their public school to teach our children to be abominable. They teach our children to be without good sense. And they teach our children to be disobedient. That's a teaching. It's reinforced in the public school to be disobedient. And to be disobedient to any and all authority. To question all things that are good, but never to question that which is evil. When you come into the public school with a moral teaching, a moral thought, a moral paragraph, a moral expression, then the teachers, they all attack that statement and tell their children, you must dissect this and learn how to be critical. But there is no teachings in the public schools on exactly what AIDS is. Instead of teaching the children how they get AIDS, it's not safe to break the laws of Yahweh. It's never safe. What scripture? Leviticus 20:13. Leviticus 20:13. Read.
If a man also lie with mankind, as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them.
Verse 15. Read.
And if a man lie with a beast, he shall surely be put to death, and ye shall slay the beast.
See, even the beast be ruined once he... no more good. Doesn't want his own kind no more. He's through dealing. Now the law of Yahweh forbids these evil acts. It's clearly written in black and white. And the white rulers of America and of the world know this. So they tell you, study the New Testament only. And forget about the Old Testament, because it doesn't count anymore. You're under grace. But see, grace doesn't solve AIDS. Grace does not solve herpes. You can have all the grace you want to, and you can say grace, but when you mess with the wrong folk and get syphilis and gonorrhea, you be hurting. And they have some stuff now you can't get rid of. Not only AIDS, they have some what they call super gonorrhea. I only believe in supernatural. I don't want no super gonorrhea. Why do these things happen? Because people are taught the law of God does not count anymore. And the result, we all know by now. We all know the result of living under man's law. Greed. Greed. Everybody seeks to take advantage of someone else. They say anything you do, you have to have a lawyer. When you get a lawyer, he robs you. Then he writes stuff in little bitty fine print. And if you get a magnifying glass, you still don't know what they said. When they get through with where to and of and whereby and unto the first party of the third part of the fifth party to the sixth part, by that time you know you need a lawyer. And some of that stuff lets him get it all from you if you don't know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing, you can keep it while you live, and then when you die, they still take it. They take it through probate court. They take what you have left through your estate in probate. You say you will something, then they have an inheritance tax. You say you find a slick way to give it, they take it from your kids through a gift tax. And they tax the tax. And I just proved last week that it's illegal to tax black folk. Teach them who Yahweh is, that he is God, that he's the God of Israel, that we are the children of Israel. And we don't need the permission of the IRS, the government, or anyone else to give to our God, Yahweh. That's number one. The Constitution of the United States says, until this day, that we are 3/5 human. Therefore, it is illegal to tax an animal. You can't tax a non-human. Oh, you think I didn't say that? You can't tax a non-human. Then we quoted exactly where it was in the Constitution. My students went and found it. I just knew it was there, so they went and found it. And they wrote right where it was, quoted it. Then I said, look in Webster's dictionary under white man's burden. You will discover that it is your duty to take care of all of your subject people. And that it is illegal to tax any of your subject people, and until this day we have not been set free indeed. Therefore you can't tax us again. It's illegal. Now you know the IRS don't back down behind no letter. But the last thing they want to happen is for all 50 million of my people to come into the knowledge of the contents of that letter. See, they not only have to deal with don't tax us, but they owe us reparations. They owe me, all my disciples and all my children, 432 years of back pay. At today's rate of a professional, not laborer, not cotton-picking laborer, no. At what I say, gold and silver rate. Go. Buy yourself some gold before it keeps going up. I told you it was going up. I told you. You better buy some silver and gold quick. I told you while it was down at $3 and $4. I told you when gold was $200, you better buy you some chains and some stuff you can wear. Because see, the stuff is going on up. Because you have to know things like M1 supply and M2 supply. You know, monetary terms that you really don't know about because you're not in business. And you really don't follow that little stock market, those little funny looking figures that roll around those little channels. You don't understand any of that, then you just in a trick. You think paper is it. Boy, they're going to make you turn in the paper you got for some funny color paper. The only real thing you're going to have is what you're wearing in silver and gold. If you don't have some, you just through. Don't buy brass, there's nothing to brass. Buy the gold, buy silver, get the real stuff. That's Yahweh money. It never change. Haggai 2:8. It doesn't change. Let's turn to Haggai 2:8. I'm telling you the whole truth. Read.
The silver is mine, and the gold is mine, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts.
The people that belong to Yahweh should have what? Silver and gold. Because you have what belongs to God. They have to be sure that I'm the one. And as they become sure, you'll see Judgment Day sit. Oh yes, Judgment Day is going to sit. I have an exceedingly great army out there that is studying and learning how to come before me. And most of them are studying real hard because they don't want to be embarrassed when they come to stand on the square of righteousness. They want to be prepared. But I'm beginning now to call my sons out. And all colors are coming. And it's mighty and it's bigger than you think it is. So I just wanted to share those little things with you as we proceed with the class. Our brothers and our people in general suffer at the hands of man's law because it's corrupt. So I'm here to establish the law of Yahweh, the just law, the righteous law, the holy law, the true God. And I'm making a great headway. The hidden name of God. Here's a Catholic digest. 800 million Catholics read this. And it says, right there at page 50, it says God's secret name. See it? God's secret name, page 50. Now I'm going to turn to page 50. God's secret name. What does Yahweh mean? In the Catholic Digest, read by 800 million white Catholics, said you have to know who's reading it. The secret name of God, Yahweh. Here is a 1987 calendar. Catholic, published by Catholics. I raise my eyes to the mountains. From where shall my help come? My help comes from Yahweh. Clear proof. They're hanging up in their Catholic homes, 800 million Catholics, 1987. After 7 years of my teaching, they come out and confess. Now, why didn't they tell you this all the time? It's taken me 7 years to get them to openly confess Yahweh is the secret name of God. Now, how can you call on God and don't know his name? You can't say, oh, God, that's not his name. God is a title. What is God's name? Praise Yahweh. So that's a good question, isn't it? You can't call him John because, see, that's not his name. Notice the Catholics teach Jesus now. Remember, the Catholics teach Holy Mother, Son Jesus. They say, but see, Jesus is not his real name. His secret name, his name really is Yahweh. See, his name is a secret. So we're going to call him Jesus. So there's a certain group of people that should know his name that don't. So we got to keep it a secret. So all of my white Masonic brothers study the name and call it the ineffable name. Ineffable means unspoken. And you'd be in serious trouble if you speak it, unless you set free. That's me. See, I'm the freedom man. I'm already free, so I can set you free. You don't have to fear nobody. Why would they hide God's name when all the nations on earth know it? but one group of people. Guess what group of people on earth don't know God's name? Oh, well, they didn't know it. They know it now, but didn't used to know it. So-called black people of America have not known the name Yahweh. But if you had asked a so-called black person, even today, without the knowledge of Yahweh, what is your nationality? What's his answer? See, he doesn't have an answer. Like I asked my brother Lonzo, we have a lot of fun here, so this is open class. What's your nationality, my son? Yes, sir. Afro-American. Say Afro-American. Son say Afro-American. My daughter, with my sunshades on, what is your name? Mary. What's your nationality, Mary? I'm black. All right. Now, Evelyn, what is your nationality? She said Hebrew Israelite. All right. So in our midst tonight, we have an Afro-American. My brother right there. That's an Afro-American right there. Praise Yahweh. And we have a black. And we have a Hebrew Israelite. Now, we all the same people. I wonder why our nationalities are so different. And you ask me why we can't get along with each other. I mean, Afro-Americans and blacks and stuff, they just don't get along with Hebrew Israelites. I mean, we look just alike, came over on the same slave ships and came from the same land area, but yet we get over here and we got different kind of nationalities. So he filled out his papers, he said he's Afro-American. White folks say, okay, boy, you Afro-American? Fine. Mary say she's black. She said, okay, Mary, you black. Fine, put on your nationality. Say, what's your nationality? Oh, Evelyn, you're a Hebrew Israelite. Fine, okay, they put it all. White folks let you put it all down. Now we are somebody in common. Now I ask some questions, and don't be offended, because this is just a truth serum. This is called a truth-seeking mission. Now, everybody on earth that have a nationality, the nationality comes from the word what? What's the root word? Nation. So nationality means, what nation do you come from?
Greetings, Royal Family. Let's talk about the most prestigious private university in the universe, the University of Yahweh. It is here where students, parents, adults, and teachers study the divine mind of Yahweh Ben Yahweh, thus elevating them to contemplate and understand the loftier concepts and principles, enabling their minds to focus and think on an extraterrestrial level. This intellectual ability and unique set of skills supersede all base, mundane, and terrestrial thinking, thus allowing one's minds to open up and flourish with an overwhelming abundance of creative ideas and loftier concepts, making life and living more enjoyable. The University of Yahweh is woven deep within the fabric of the moral principles of truth, honesty, integrity, true holiness, righteousness, ethics, and justice for all. The University of Yahweh is designed for the Godhead, and this includes students, parents, adults, and the Godhead. In the University of Yahweh, the online platform, you gain a structured format to the approach of the divine mind of Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh Yahweh. We welcome you to visit our website at www.universityofyahweh.org This platform is specifically designed for the Godhead and the Godhead family. The 144,000 chosen to rule in righteousness. We look forward to working with you as we prepare for rulership in righteousness. Praise Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh. Praise Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh, Beit Nun Sophie Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh. Shalom, Royal Family.